What's the craziest request a fan has made? Asking for my number from a guy, probably.
Was he cute?
No, it's not cute.
Lizzie Morgan on the Joy FM.
Yes.
I am so excited
I'm
to get
excited.
to know you.
I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right, so this is your first time on the Joy FM. So we're going to do a little bit of get to know Lizzie.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Fine,
So I got some questions for
yes.
you. Where are you from?
I'm from a town it's called Cotton Town. It's 30 minutes from Nashville, Tennessee. Born and raised.
Born and raised.
Yeah.
Do you live there now, or are you?
I live like 20 minutes out. It's called Gallatin, Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So who is in your immediate family?
Lord. Well, that's a hard question. I hope you have a long time for it.
Let's do it.
There's
Stop the
six.
clock then. We're gonna...
There's 6 of us. I'm the oldest of 6, and then mom and dad. So yeah, it's a big bunch of us though. I'm the oldest and I'm 26, and the youngest is 3. Yeah, so it's a party.
So you have your own little basketball team.
We definitely do. Yes, but it's so fun. We love it.
Thanksgiving sounds like a blast.
It's a party. It is.
Can I come?
Yes, come on.
Okay, great. Thank you. Do you cook? Because I don't.
I do not cook at all.
What about your mom?
Mom can cook. Yeah.
Okay. What does an ideal Saturday look like for you?
Sleep, shopping, good food. I'm pretty chill.
Sleep, like we're talking like a massive
Like
amount.
at least till 1 o'clock, at least.
All right. If there was a magical tree that produced your favorite dessert, what would you plant?
I'm pretty simple, like chocolate ice cream, and I'm good with that. Yep.
Chocolate ice cream.
Just chocolate ice cream.
I'm trying to picture what that tree would look like.
Maybe like soft serve knobs,
Okay.
you know? I don't
Instead
know.
of like flowers, you have like knobs
yes,
all over.
just knobs all over it.
I could get behind that.
Yeah.
Well, and you have a lot of siblings, so then everybody could have a knob.
Exactly.
Okay, I got that. And then what scripture has been the most meaningful in your life?
I feel like one I always go back to is Psalms 112:7. They have no fear of bad news, for their hearts are steadfast, trusting in the Lord. Just when I get anxious or worried about stuff, I think I just always try to remember to trust him, and that will bring me peace. I think I always go back to that one when I feel worry creeping in or anything like that.
What is the first worry? You know what I mean? It's like almost,
Yeah.
there are times in my life where I'm like, I can feel the evil one knocking at my
Yep.
door.
Yeah.
And it's because I know the tricks.
Yep.
You know, so do you know those things, or you're like, okay, he's knocking
Yeah.
and I need to combat it with scripture?
I definitely think the older I've gotten, I've started to learn when that's happening. When I was younger, it was like, what's happening? And you just kind of fall into it. But now I'm like, okay, I know what's going on. And I know how to like start bringing the word in, or start turning on a worship song or a sermon or something. And I know how to fight it a little bit better.
Yeah. When you see it coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, my nephew posted on Instagram, so every so often something good can come off of social media.
Yeah.
And it has stayed with me. My little nephew, he said, you know, that if Satan was able to deceive God's angels to leave heaven, how much easier can he deceive us?
Right. Man. Woo. Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, he is the great deceiver, but we have the scriptures,
Yeah.
and we have songs.
Yeah.
The beauty of singing, and that is what I want to go to, because
Yeah.
you've been working on solo music. You've recorded with Maverick City,
Yeah.
Red Worship. You had a huge song with the Joy FM listeners called Leaning.
Yeah.
And when I say Joy FM
yeah.
listeners, I also mean myself
Aw.
and my family, my little children in the back of the car.
Aw, thank you.
And so when the song Miracle
Yeah.
that you have just done,
Yeah.
oh my, can I tell you the line that just really struck me when I first heard it?
Yeah.
I asked you to do what only you could do. I waited day after day, but nothing seemed to change. Then came the day when all I wanted fell apart, but it fell in your hands.
Yeah.
What is the story behind that song?
Yeah. So I grew up in church my whole life. I grew up in a family full of ministry. But when I was 13 years old, my parents had sat me down and told me that they were going to get a divorce. And I grew up where like divorce was just not common whatsoever. Like it was just, I thought it was the end of the world. I was raised to think it was the end of the world. And then it happened to my family. And so I was 13 years old and I just had this huge disappointment and I didn't know what to do with it. But because I grew up like in a Pentecostal like background, I started just like praying for a miracle to happen. That's what I had seen my family do. And so I had all the faith in the world. Little old 13-year-old me is like going to the altar and I'm like, I'm going to pray till this miracle happens. And I did it for a while, just believing that God would heal my parents' marriage. And he didn't, you know? And I think that's a lot of people's stories. I just think it's a lot of people's stories that we don't talk about a lot because maybe we're nervous about what it makes people think about God. But in my disappointment, I just found him to be more real. Like, I didn't find this thing where I was like, oh, God doesn't do miracles. I just found that he's a God who really sits with us in our pain, who sits with us in our disappointment. And I grew up in church my whole life, but it wasn't until I went through something like that I knew without a shadow of a doubt, oh, he's real. He's really who everyone says he is. He's really a friend who comes and sits with us and walks us through seasons of heartbreak. And I just feel like he allowed me to bring all my questions and my disappointment and where I even felt like maybe he failed me. And he was okay with that. And that's when I fell in love with him, honestly. And so that line's really about that. It's like, it did not go the way that I thought it would, but I know it was in your hands, and I know you carried me like through that. So yeah,
The line that but it fell in your hands.
yeah,
That's amazing because it convicted me. I think when I personally go through those kind of situations, then I'm like, subconsciously maybe I'm like, well, then I got to pray smaller prayers, the small ones that he can catch.
Yep,
not the big ones.
Ooh, yeah,
You never found that, or have you ever found yourself, or I guess it sounds like to me, then you went, okay, I'm going to keep on praying those big prayers.
Yeah. But I think it is what you're saying. I think sometimes like we go to him when the big things happen, like someone's sick or like something huge happens in our lives. But it's like he wants to be in the little details too. Like when your kid hurts their finger, pray. Like he shows up for that stuff too. And it is that. It's like all the little things, all the big things. I think the older I get, I realize how much more like he just wants to be in my daily life. Someone asked me the other day, like, well, how do you spend the most time with God? And I'm like, I feel like I see him the most when I'm hanging out with my siblings outside. Like I see Jesus in their eyes, and that does something to me. It's not me like going in a prayer closet spending 2 hours, you know, sometimes, but he's also just there throughout the day.
We've had the opportunity to be on the road.
Yeah.
And so many different projects. Has there been a story with somebody just coming up to you and connecting with your music?
Yeah. We just did the Matt Moore tour, and it was the first time I've done a tour where afterwards you get to go out and like hang out with everyone and meet people. And it was the best thing I could have ever done for myself, because hearing other people's stories has just been so encouraging. I think sometimes you just forget, like, why am I doing this? What's the point of all this? And I think getting to hear people's stories was such a good reminder, especially like getting to sing Maybe the Miracle. It was cool to hear people's stories about their kids being sick or different things that they're walking through that have totally different than what I walked through to write the song, but how the song is relating to them in a different way has been just awesome. Yeah.
Well, and then in the song, how it says, maybe the miracle
Yeah.
is trusting God. Maybe that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And even like the fact that the title is Maybe the Miracle, it's like I still have questions. Maybe it is. You know what I mean? So I think it's that tension of like, I just wish people understood that he's not afraid of your disappointment at all. Like he's like, bring it here, I can handle it. And so I think that if more people felt that way, they would, you know, feel like he's more of a God that really can just like come close and is not mad at you for being upset. And so that's who I found him to be. And I think that more people can do that.
Was there one person, can you remember, that said, Lizzie, you can sing? And then when they said it, did you believe them?
Yeah. I mean, my whole family's musical. So I come from like a crazy musical family. My grandmother plays organ, grandfather plays guitar, dad sings. And honestly, the whole family sings. So growing up, you didn't think that you were special because you could sing because everybody sang. And my family's so competitive. It's like, who can do the best runs and who can sing the loudest?
Are they like in the back of your concert, like, I can hit that note better. Hang on a second, Lizzie.
Oh, my dad for sure. My dad's like, you will not be better than me. And honestly, it's true. He's a better singer than me for sure. But I mean, so I grew up knowing I could sing just because that's what we did. Like, I grew up singing in church when I was 5 years old. I was singing like gospel songs that I had no business singing. They were impossible to sing at that age. But yeah, I mean, my whole family, like, I think they definitely saw a gift and they really helped me steward it, just like growing up. But everyone sings in the family. It's not, you're not special around here.
You're not?
No, not at all.
Okay, so a little bit of confession hour.
Okay.
So you and I were talking last night about doing this interview.
Yes.
And I made a comment that I'm a morning person.
Yes.
And then when I was putting my makeup on, I was like, I need to do an apology. Maybe, it's not a real apology unless you do a note apology on your phone.
Hilarious.
On
Okay.
notes,
Yeah.
and everybody does it and it's like super long. So I was like, I need to do a notes apology to Lizzie because I don't think I had full disclosure. So here you go. Dear Lizzie, I am sorry for faking that I'm a morning person. I am only a morning person because of the amount of coffee I drink.
Oh, my.
Dear Lizzie, do you know how many shots of espresso in my Starbucks I get every morning?
Oh, okay. I'm thinking. I just saw you chug some coffee.
I did.
Is it 6?
Oh, I should try that. 4 shots.
4. I was going to say
4 shots of espresso, Lizzie.
Dang it. Okay.
So I did not give you my secret, and I apologize to you. Would you please forgive me?
Oh, you're forgiven. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
You're a pro. I watched you chug that coffee. I need to learn.
Because you were like, I'm not really a morning person. So I left.
I feel bad saying that now.
I left on the table my secret to poor Lizzie. My secret is drink a crazy amount of espresso to the point that you're like,
Yay. Yeah, I'm going to be like walking around like this.
You're like, thanks, Jules.
Jitters.
I got the jitters now. I am so sorry.
That's hilarious that you wrote that. That's great. I love that.
Okay. Well, and now, after the apology, did you receive my apology?
Oh, yes, of course. I learned a lesson. 4 shots of espresso.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're like, that crazy woman told me to do this.
No, I love it.
Now look at me. My heart is not beat correctly since. Do you want to play a game with me?
Yes, I would love to play a game.
Okay, this is my, I'm going to try to do this good. Disco ball of fun.
Disco ball of fun.
Did you like that?
I loved it. It's
Okay.
great.
I have some amazing questions that my friends and I came up with.
Love
I like to
it.
say amazing. Is that
Yeah.
okay? Is that egotistical? We're gonna do some questions. I'm gonna throw it at you.
Okay.
You're gonna pick it. I'm not gonna throw it at you. Sorry, that's the 4 shots of espresso talking, not me. I'm gonna let you pick a question,
Okay.
and then at any point you're like, I'm gonna do a reverse card on Jules. Then you can do that.
Nice.
And reverse it back on me.
How
okay?
many reverses do I get?
Oh, you do come of a big family.
Yes.
That's very competitive.
I started clapping. I'm like, let's go.
I don't even. You do you.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
whatever reverse card number you want to do. How about
Okay.
that? Is that okay?
That's great. I love
All
that.
right, coming from a big family, did that make you nervous that there is no rules?
It's fine. No rules is great.
Okay.
Okay. What's the oh Lord, I can't even read. What's the craziest request a fan has made? Ooh. Asking for my number from a guy, probably.
But was he cute?
No, it's not cute. And then he sent his daughter as backup, which is great. I love that.
I mean, how do you say no to a kid?
That was pretty bad. You know what I mean?
All right, take
I
notes.
love that.
Take notes, fellas. That's how you get the number.
You said it did not work.
You
It
send
did
your
not
like
work.
little sweet nephew in
It
these.
did not work. at
Maybe
all.
put a puppy dog on their hip when they ask.
Okay. What was your first concert? Yep, we're definitely reversing this one on you.
Reverse, reverse.
My mom should have not brought me to my first concert.
New song.
New song.
Do you
Okay.
remember? They were okay. Okay.
I have no idea.
I am way back. Arise, my love. Arise, my love.
Is it a Christian?
Yeah. Arise. They were from so I'm from South Georgia, and they also were from South
Nice.
Georgia area.
Okay, yeah.
And they did concerts.
Okay.
And I was part of a youth group that had learned the sign language to that song. I'm going to come clean.
Nice.
I learned the sign language to that song. And so they brought us all out in front of the stage to sign language. I can still remember my love something. That's all I got.
The whole thing.
During the singing.
My first concert was not a Christian concert. It should have been. My parents should have done a better job on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. What's it like being a professional Christian? That's a hilarious question. It's stressful sometimes. I think you just have to remember why you first fell in love with Jesus, because it is very easy to like start getting confused with your Christianity and the success of your career, and worship is a sacrifice and an offering that I'm bringing to God, but it's also something that I want people to like. That gets weird really fast. And so I think I have tried to get good at keeping the two things separate. That's the hardest part, I would say. And just like everybody has so many opinions, like social media, and it's just like, you did not go to Bible college. Hush, you're not a theologist. Like, you know, just get off social media a little bit. But I think sometimes I just have to turn it off and just ignore it and try to make it my own personal relationship and shut up the voices. Shut up the voices, basically. Shut up. God.
Is there one person that speaks the truth when maybe you're spiraling because you saw that comment?
Yeah.
That, you know, you say one little thing and they judge your character. And you're like, that was just one sentence. I'm much bigger than that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it happens all the time. I don't really read a lot of that stuff. I try not to read a lot of that stuff. And I feel like I've been super blessed to not have a ton of that happen to me. But I just always like go back to family. I feel like family's the thing that keeps you grounded, reminds you who you are, keeps you humble when you're feeling real good, and they pick you up when you're feeling real low. And so that's like, those are my people. That's who I go to. They speak the truth. My grandparents are pastors, and they're the best and so life-giving, so I always go to them. They live right up the hill from my dad, so I've been walking up that hill a long time trying to get help my whole life. So yeah, I always go to them.
Always love to know people's grandparents' names because they're
really?
they're just usually really cute. It's
Yeah.
like Gam Gam, like Grancy, like
They're pretty good. I call them Nanny and Poppy, but Poppy's name is Freeney Joseph. Yeah. Freeney, F-R-E-E-N-E-Y. And my nanny's is Yolanda Dorothy. Mm-hmm.
Dorothy. I
Yes.
love that name.
Yeah.
It's a good kid name. I like it.
Okay. What's my favorite little luxury? My favorite little luxury. I mean, I love a good Starbucks and getting my nails done. A facial is always. And then after lots of flying, I love a massage. That's my favorite.
So
It's
a
just,
need.
it's the best.
It's not a luxury. That's a need, okay?
It is. You're right. It's a
And
need.
if you don't have a lot of money, go to the one at the mall, you know? The
Yeah.
massage chair.
That's
I'll
true.
take whatever.
They'll do like the little 10-minute ones, like right there in front of everybody. It's great.
I'll take that. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be expensive.
It
I mean,
doesn't.
expensive is nice, but
Right.
yeah.
You're right. Okay. I get nervous every single time.
Do you? Well, if you can toss it either.
Have I ever used ChatGPT to write a song? No, I have not ever done this, but I have used it to write a few devotions. Yes. I have to write them like for our worship team, like a lot. And
Is it theologically sound? Have you found like the robots are
Okay.
trying to like twist it?
in my defense, I really pretty much write it and just get their help with the grammar.
Oh, okay.
But I have a best friend who also is on this worship team. I'm going to call her out. She uses ChatGPT to write the whole thing.
You heard it here, guys.
I literally told her, I was like, you cannot do that. She was like, I have to. I don't know what to say. It's hilarious. So yeah, these devotions are getting wild out here.
it's like trust robots. Robots are your friends, even if they tell you to bomb things. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know where my head went. I'll do a reverse on myself since you were so
yeah,
honest.
yeah.
Reverse on myself.
Reverse, reverse.
I don't use Chat GPT only because I have my husband, and
Is he
my
a genius?
he is my Chat GPT.
That's great.
Because when you said grammar, I was like, I got you. Like there are times that I'm like, I don't know what preposition to use. Is it of or what or in or on? So he is my.
I
Chat
get my
GPT.
theirs confused to this day.
The
the
TH.
THEIR.
Well, I'll
I'm
give you
embarrassed that I do, but yes, I do.
I'll give you my husband's number, and then you can call him.
Okay.
Be like, David, I know you're working right now, but like, can you help me? Is it
Yes.
is it there as in like the pronoun, or there as in like the location there?
ChatGPT has saved me on grammar. It really has.
All right, Lizzie, this
Yes.
was so much fun.
So fun. Yeah.
I loved it. Thank you for playing my game and
you.
sharing your heart, but more
Yeah.
importantly, sharing your music
Thanks.
and allowing God to do the work when you were in a difficult season.
yeah.
Because of that, this morning I started my day listening to your music, and I was like, yeah,
Thank you so much.
quit praying the small prayers to God. Trust Him with the big ones.
Yeah. Thank you. For real. Grateful to be here.